the top hashtag for the event, or at least one of them, is Pray for Boston. So I think a lot of people tuning in and their hearts going out to the people there who've been affected by that. And even in France, actually, French Twitter, you can find hashtag Pray for Boston in the top 10 trend topics. So this is getting global attention, of course, as with any news story of this kind. Now, the New York Times has this map, which is kind of helpful to kind of figure out in the centre of Boston there what's going on. That's the street where the marathon was finishing. I think it's Boylston Street, and there were 2 confirmed blasts so far. On Twitter, you've got lots of rather sad, gruesome and impressive photos. That's the Boston police, I suppose, getting to grips with the immediate aftermath of that blast at the finish line. The Boston Globe, of course, a good one to follow for this breaking news story, with lots of videos and photos being uploaded. Some gruesome scenes around the places where those explosions happened, where people were cleared away, but you can see the blood-stained
that is
street.
Blood on the streets. It's horrific to think that just before this happened, of course, many thousands of people there watching what is a great event. The Boston Marathon is one of the legendary runs, of course, and there you see the picture that you've shown us there, James, really sums up the difference, the before, the after. And
that's right. This is another shot that the Boston Globe Live blog picked up on. That's 9 minutes before the first photo there on the left, and the same exact location on the right, and you can see the stand there around the finish line emptied out, and a lot of smoke in the area after one of those explosions. And here another photo put up on Instagram this time. You can see there in the centre a cloud of smoke around the explosion, and one person commenting there saying, "I hope this isn't the start of anything." Unfortunately, it clearly is. What else worth pointing out? There's these GIFs where you take the exact moment of that explosion. So it is quite impressive to see the way in which social media has actually really locked into those moments, and there are quite a few different angles which it has been caught at, that explosion, and put up on social
We're clearly
media.
seen from the shot you're showing us there, James, 4 hours. Excuse me, 9 minutes after the start, of course,
right.
And this is the time when, I've said it before, fun runners coming through.
Right.
You know, people.
Right.
I mean, if I was going to run a marathon, I'd finish it in my dreams in that time.
Right.
You know, I'd be coming through at that time.
Yes,
it's
yes.
that kind of thing that makes you think that we all could be victims of something like that. It's just a horrific situation, isn't it?
Now, some tweets in French as well, Mark, and I think it's obviously too early to speculate on what the cause of this is, but there is a lot of speculation on social media about whether or not it will be terrorism or not. One person saying here, afraid that it's going to be another round of Muslim, Islamist, jihadist, terrorist, etc. Another person saying here as well, I suppose a little bit cautious of perhaps some of the media shortcuts that can happen sometimes, saying, oh, if whoever is behind this is white, then it's a psychopath, black or Arabic, it's a terrorist. And I suppose afraid in tweeting that we're going to head into some sort of shortcut media analysis of it, which is possible.
That person is making, is coming out with a kind of media shorthand that too many journalists latch onto straight away. It is worth pointing out, of course, that at this point, we don't know exactly what's happened. Yes. However, 2 explosions, the police calling them bombs, 2 explosions in quick succession. It doesn't bear the hallmarks of an accident, does it?
Unfortunately not. Now, what we're getting a lot of as well on Twitter, apart from that speculation about the causes and fear that it could be, of course, a planned attack, is just horrible first-hand accounts, now getting gruesome first-hand accounts of hair on fire, severed limbs, etc. Look, I almost feel bad reading that stuff out, because it's really horrible, and I suppose it's not nice to be dwelling on those aspects of it, but it is a reality of events like this, I suppose. And another person here is saying, perhaps it was naivety, but my first thought on 9/11 was that it was a terrible accident. Now, I assume the worst in these moments. As I said, you do see a lot of that speculation. And another person pointing out that if I hasten to add, if it is terrorism, that would be the first attack on US soil since 9/11.
As we heard from our eyewitness earlier on, Alex Morales, who had just finished the race, to go from that carnival atmosphere to this atmosphere of devastation, it's such a huge contrast. Mm-hmm. And one wonders why an event like a marathon would be targeted in such a way. Clearly a high-profile event. The Boston Marathon is one of the events that is talked of all around the world. Yeah. So clearly, if it's a group looking to make an impact, that they've done just that.
Well, there is a tweet here that says pretty much that, Mark, sadly a high-profile event like the Boston Marathon with large concentrated crowds and blanket media coverage makes an attractive target. So, perhaps if that's what was in the minds of whoever is behind this, it would make a certain amount of sense. But
in the light of that,
we don't know
James,
yet.
Security is being stepped up at the London Marathon, which is next weekend. Of course, the event in Paris coming up soon too will be going ahead with renewed security, of course, and once again, people's lives affected on almost every level by this kind of event, which is incredibly sad.
And just a word of caution for people who are going on social media, there's some pretty nasty images of people with, who in the immediate aftermath of those explosions. So, you don't want to necessarily expose yourself to that sort of stuff.
Okay.